Welcome back to Rhythm Guitar Book 2. This course focuses on open chords, strumming, and fingerstyle patterns. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Rhythm Guitar Book 2 that you can read from and write in, so I'll leave a link for that in the description. We're on pages 10 and 11. You're going to learn the C chord and the D7 chord, and we're also going to work on 2 rhythm charts that put your new chords, strumming, and fingerstyle patterns to use. On page 10, we have our C chord and our D7 chord. Let's look at the C chord first. I have finger 3 on 3rd fret 5th string, finger 2 on 2nd fret 4th string, finger 1 on 1st fret on the 2nd string. And this is a 5-string chord. So for your bass strum pattern, your 5th string is going to be your bass. And if you're playing fingerstyle, your thumb is going to be on the 5th string. And here's our D7 chord. This is with finger 1 on the 1st fret 2nd string, finger 2 on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and finger 3 on the 2nd fret on the 1st string. And the 4th string is open. This is a 4-string chord. So when you're playing your bass strum patterns, your 4th string is your bass note, and when you're playing your fingerstyle patterns, your thumb is going to play on string 4. At the bottom of page 10, we have common fingers and guide fingers. In Rhythm Guitar 1, you'll learn that you can use your 3rd finger as a guide finger going from the small G chord to the D7 chord. You can do the same thing with the full G chord. That 3rd finger from the G chord can slide over 1 fret and be in place for the D7 chord, and vice versa. Slide it back for the G chord. And C and D7 have the 1st finger in common. There's our C chord, moving to the D7. Just keep your 1st finger down, swing fingers 2 and 3 over for your D7, and vice versa. And if you're fingering your E minor with fingers 1 and 2, then 2nd finger is the same between the C and the E minor. If you've already learned how to play the E minor from other videos or other books, you may have learned to play it with fingers 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2. And that's perfectly okay. Those are both perfectly valid ways to play the E minor chord. So if you're comfortable playing 2 and 3 right now, that's great. I do suggest learning fingers 1 and 2 as well, just for flexibility. At the top of page 11, we have rhythm chart R7. This one is in 4/4 time, and we're going to practice this strumming and fingerstyle. On page 7, you learned a 4/4 strumming pattern. This is a bass strum pattern. It's bass, 2, 3, 4. Bass, 2, 3, 4. With the G chord, you want to play your bass on the 6th string. With the D7 chord, you're going to play your bass on the 4th string because it's a 4-string chord. For the C chord, which is a 5-string chord, you're going to play your bass on the 5th string. And for the E minor, which is a 6-string chord, you're going to play your bass on the 6th string. Remember, when you do these bass strum patterns, don't re-strum the bass note. In fact, I like to aim for the bottom 3 or 4 strings, so there's a little bit of separation in sound between the bass note and the strummed notes. So at the beginning of R7, we have a G chord. We have 2 measures of a G chord, so that's going to be bass, 2, 3, 4, and another bass, 2, 3, 4. Then we move to the D7 chord. Remember, when you move to the D7 chord, you can use your 3rd finger as a guide finger. So slide the 3rd finger over and put the other 2 fingers into place. That's going to be bass, 2, 3, 4, bass, 2, 3, 4. Moving to the C chord in the second line, first finger is a common finger, so keep first finger down, just move fingers 2 and 3 to the C, bass, 2, 3, 4, bass, 2, 3, 4, then it moves back to the G, bass, 2, 3, 4, bass, 2, 3, 4. Going into the third line, if you're playing your G with fingers 1, 2, 3, and your E minor with fingers 1 and 2, you can keep your first finger the same. You have to move it over a little bit just to make room. And again, E minor is a 6-string chord, so 6th string is your bass. Bass, 2, 3, 4, bass, 2, 3, 4. Then moving to your C chord, you could keep your second finger down. Bass, 2, 3, 4, bass, 2, 3, 4. Then to the D7 chord, bass, 2, 3, 4, bass, 2, 3, 4. Now at the end we have a G chord and we have rhythmic notation here. Up until now it's all been slashes, which means you just play some sort of pattern throughout. In this case, when you see the actual rhythms written out, ignore the pattern, just strum the pattern. So we have a quarter note on beat 1, a rest on beat 2, 3, and 4. So make sure you mute the string on beat 2. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have a whole note at the end, which is 4 beats. So you strum again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was strummed. Make sure you practice this finger style as well. On page 9, you learned your P-I-M-A pattern, or thumb 1, 2, 3. As a reminder, your 3 fingers stay on the same 3 strings all the time. Finger 1 on string 3, finger 2 on string 2, and finger 3 on string 1. Your thumb is going to move around depending on the bass note. So for this G chord at the beginning, your thumb's going to be on the 6th string. That's going to be P-I-M-A. Now that's 1 measure's worth, P-I-M-A. We have another measure of G, so you do it again, P-I-M-A. When you move to the D7, your thumb is now going to move to the 4th string, but your 3 fingers always stay on the same strings. So P-I-M-A, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving to the next line, we have a C chord. C is a 5-string chord, so your thumb now moves to the 5th string. Your 3 fingers stay on the same 3 strings. P-I-M-A, P-I-M-A. Then back to the G. P-I-M-A, P-I-M-A. Third line, we have an E minor chord. That's a 6-string chord, so your thumb stays on the 6th string. P-I-M-A. Then to the C chord, P-I-M-A. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7 chord in the 4th line, thumb moves to the 4th string. And then at the end, again, we abandon the pattern when we see written rhythms. And you can handle this in a couple different ways. You could strum the rhythm, but just with your thumb or a finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Essentially using your thumb or a finger as a pick. Or you could just pluck the notes all at the same time. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And either way, make sure you mute the strings on the 2nd beat, so you are resting there. I'm going to play this one for you twice. First time strumming and then second time finger style. I encourage you to play along. Now if the music is too fast or too slow, just get a metronome and choose your own tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the bottom of page 11, we have rhythm chart R8. This one is in 3/4 time, so we're going to be using our 3/4 strumming pattern from page 7 and our 3/4 fingerstyle pattern from page 9. Our strumming pattern for 3/4 time is bass, 2, 3, bass, 2, 3, strumming on beats 2 and 3. And as before, make sure you strum maybe the bottom 3 or 4 strings. Avoid re-strumming your bass note. At the beginning, we have E minor, so bass, 2, 3, bass, 2, 3, with your bass on the 6th string. We move to a G chord. If you're fingering E minor with 1 and 2, then you can keep finger 1 the same as you move to the G. Playing bass, 2, 3 on the 6th string, bass, 2, 3. Move to a D7 chord on the 2nd line. Remember, we can use a guide finger. The 3rd finger from the G just slides over. D7 is a 4-string chord, so our 4th string is a bass. Bass, 2, 3, bass, 2, 3, and then to the C chord. You can keep your 1st finger the same, moving from D7 to C. C is a 5-string chord, so 5th string is your bass. Bass, 2, 3, bass, 2, 3. 3rd line, we move to E minor again. 6th string is your bass. Bass, 2, 3, bass, 2, 3, to G, bass, 2, 3, bass, 2, 3, to C, 5th string bass, bass, 2, 3, bass, 2, 3, then E minor, and we have no more slashes here. We have rhythmic notation. So you're going to abandon the pattern and just strum 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Remember, a dotted half note lasts for 3 counts. Our fingerstyle pattern from page 9 is P, I, and then M-A together on beat 3. So P, I, M-A, or 1, 2, 3. For E minor, put your thumb on the 6th string, 1, 2, 3, or P, I, and then M-A together. We move to the G chord, 6th string is still the bass, P, I, M-A, or 1, 2, 3. Move to the D7, now 4th string is your bass, so that's where your thumb moves, but your 3 fingers always stay on those same 3 strings. P, I, M-A, or 1, 2, 3, to the C chord. Now 5th string is your bass, so your thumb moves to the 5th string. Your 3 strings stay put, 3 fingers stay put. P, I, M-A, P, I, M-A, and then to the E minor again. P, I, M-A, P, I, M-A, G, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4th line C, 5th string is your bass, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then as with the other exercise, when we have these dotted half notes at the end, you have your choice between strumming, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or plucking all the strings at the same time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm also going to play this one twice through, one time strumming and the second time fingerstyle. And again, if the music is too fast or too slow, get a metronome and practice at your own speed. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, play. Bass, strum, strum. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, ready, play. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Your assignment is to practice the rhythm charts on page 11 with both strumming and fingerstyle patterns, and work on keeping a steady beat by playing along with the video, or get a metronome so you can play at your own tempo. It's more important to play steadily than it is to play fast, so practice these exercises as slowly as you need to make the chord changes. And if you don't feel like your chords are fast enough, don't worry. Everybody starts off this way, and as long as you keep at it, your chords will speed up over time. Now, if you want to speed up the process of speeding up your chords, try the 4-3-2-1 exercise on page 6. Don't forget to order your copy of Rhythm Guitar Book 2. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of the book that you can read from and write in. So I'll leave a link for that in the description. Practice these rhythm charts for a week or so till you're comfortable with them, and then I will see you on page 12 with some new lead sheets.